my victim. I had already done Star Trek, and I had already done Tom Savini's remake of Night of the Living Dead. So I had a couple credits behind me, plus a big theatrical resume. And I get a call out of the blue. It was around 4:45 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. See how much memory is up there? How did I remember that? Anyway, that's what it was. And my
It was
agent.
raining that day, though.
No, it wasn't raining, but it was about 76. Anyway, my manager called and said, this director really wants to meet you for a project called Candyman. And I kind of hung up because I wasn't in a good mood that day. I'd ate some sour figs or something. And, and I was in a Klingon mood. And he called me back and said, no, man. I said, what are you? I'm too tall to do the Sammy Davis Jr. story. What are you talking about? He says, no, there's a new innovative horror movie, and this guy is high on you. So I said, okay, what do I have to do? Do you have material? Do I have to send? And he says, and then he sent me one sentence, which was, be my victim. And I said, what the hell am I supposed to do with this, man? Be my victim. What is that? He says, no, he just wants to hear you say that. So I met Bernard Rose, a genius, enigmatic gentleman and a dear friend of mine, for coffee. And he's a crazy, maniacal Englishman with a film mind unlike any other man that I've met. And he starts talking to me about David Lean and working for Pinewood Studios, which is the famous English studio where Alfred Hitchcock started and stuff. And I'm a filmographer and a film noir fan. And so he says, so say it. I said, what? Say it. I said, be my victim? And he says, could you tonality that down a little bit? I said, be my victim? And he says, no, give me something gravitas. And I said, be my victim. He said, that's it. Then he threw his hands up in the air a lot. And so then I found out, so I thought, okay, that's it. And he wouldn't give me a script. And he says, I want you to go read Clive Barker's The Book of the Forbidden, and you'll see where the Genesis comes from. And I read it, and it was about a white guy in Liverpool, England. I said, so what do you want me to do? He says, no, I'm transposing it to Cabrini Green, Chicago, and I'm doing this modern update and this horrific tale about racial injustice in America. So I said, okay, sign me up. Then the obstacle was I had to meet the studio, Steve Golan, who's gone on to so many great things. He's behind Bad Robot right now. And I had to do a personality test. That was the last thing standing between me. And I said, I don't know what that is. What is a personality test? I mean, because when I was a juvenile, I was a very bright kid, and because of that, I was the guy in the neighborhood that would like hypnotize people. I mean, I was into all kinds of things, mentalism, and I would hypnotize people. They'd go home, they'd be freaked out, and their parents would call my aunt and say, you need your son just hypnotized my son. And he's talking about giving him all of his lunch, his bologna sandwiches for the next 6 weeks or whatever. And then one time we were building shortwave radios from Radio Shack when they had those little electronic kits. And whatever we did, we tapped into some sort of security system. And next thing you know, these guys in suits knocked on our door and said, you have to cease and desist. So, personality test, I went there and it's like 8:30 in the morning and these people are drinking fresh squeezed orange juice out of a crystal carafe and buttering their Danish. And they're not saying anything. And I said, I'm sorry. And so I failed the test because I guess I didn't kiss ass in the appropriate way, in the Hollywood way. But Bernard fought for me, and I was told a lot of people wanted this role, and he fought for me, which is why he's my friend forever. And then we ended up on the set. I remember when we were in Chicago doing scouting, he said, this role is going to change your life. And I said, Bernard, I'm an actor for hire. I'm going to do my best job because I don't just turn in a performance, but we'll let time be the judge of that. And it's turned out that he's been absolutely right. Not a day goes by where somebody doesn't mention CM. Candyman's one of them. I did Man from Earth is a favorite. I loved working on The Rock. I loved working on X-Files, NYPD Blue. You know, I got to do during the '90s all the TV series that were hip and hot. You know, and so I was lucky. And even now, I mean, TV appearances have slowed down a little bit because TV focuses on 25-year-old poof hair people, like CW, and my hair is definitely not poofed anymore. But I get by. Right now, I'm doing Dead of Summer for Freeform Channel, which is by the creators of Lost and Alias and Once Upon a Time. So, they still call me, which is great. And I just finished doing Zoom on The Flash, which is probably the hottest villain of the year for TV. Obviously, they're going to make it. The movie made money, right? It made money every time it came out, and it's the same formula that they can do, and they can always do it. When it happens, and if I'm available, and if they still want me, I would love to be a part of it. I've done, what, 4 of the 5, so, people are clamoring for it. So they just got to figure out how to write it in a different and refreshing way, and I'll be glad to be a part of that. What I've learned, they're not, you know, okay, I'm not a merchant, so I don't judge a con based on the numbers. I've never done a Wizard World. I have worked for Creation where they just kind of, people stand by and they're just rushing people by you and stuff, which is, I don't think is fair to either the people or the artists, or at least not to me. So with Crypticon, the value of this, you're in 2 great cities. Kansas City is a phenomenal city for music and for barbecue and for brew. Seattle is rooted in music first and foremost. The history of Seattle from the '60s and the funk and soul movement, and then through the grunge period, and the fact that Quincy Jones comes from here, and Jimi Hendrix and Bruce Lee. I mean, and then the weather and the greenery, Olympia State Park, and the arts community is supported, and that as an artist, that's important. Like I said, I've worked in Seattle Rep twice, and I can't wait to do it again. And the fans here, they definitely they're not afraid to express their love for the work. Nobody's cold. I can't speak for the other artists. I can speak to ones I really know, like Kane and Lance, like giving back, and we're motivated by that kind of appreciation. And that to me is, I met so many people who were genuinely affected by, if not the body of work, something specific that matters to them, whether it's The Crow or whatever. It can be intangible. Somebody came up to me with a box set of Xena, Warrior Princess, which I did an episode on. So I've signed so many things here that the first time I signed that, somebody had a Criminal Minds box set that I also did an episode on. So that's the beauty of it. And I've had some really good extended conversations with special people and special needs. And we all, that category of special needs, all of us, every single one of us has some need that has not been allowed to mature or allowed to fully express itself. So that's what this is. It's communication. Yes, people are making money and stuff, but they're also, if you're committed to mankind, you're also giving back. So.